Call this meeting to order at 3:10. And
Do that all day.
Span it.
Councilman Lay, would you mind giving us a blessing?
Bow our heads. Lord, we appreciate the time to get together today and appreciate everything you do for us in every day and every way. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Brian Warner,
Amen.
Bill England, Keith Austin,
Here.
Harley Buzzer, Joe Bird, Sean Crittenden,
Honey.
Mike Robbins,
Here.
Shannon Duncan, Wanda Hatfield,
Honey, here.
Jordan, Dick Lowe,
Here.
Mike Shambach, Mary Bakershaw,
Honey.
Leo Smith, Denise Taylor, here, Victoria Westwood. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you.
Gotcha.
Do your motion to approve the minutes of April 15, 2019.
So moved.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Down in reports, Miss Diane Kelly, vocational programs, Talking Leaves,
MC Strawberry Festival.
MC Strawberries. She ate those strawberries.
I tell you what, I'm so sore from that Strawberry Festival. I did more walking Saturday than I do in a whole year's time.
Till next year.
Till next year.
What was the story on the wild horses running through town?
The wild horses?
You not see all the wild horses?
About 20 of them.
No.
Yeah.
They
They were just
came
running,
through after I
from one side of town to the next the whole entire day, just running wild.
I didn't see them.
Is it open range?
I don't
Still open
know.
range?
Adair County's all open range, just about.
Probably the sequel of Wyatt Earp.
Well, Mr. Chair and Council, good afternoon. For those of you who participated in this year's 72nd Annual Strawberry Festival, a great event. It was nice and cool, and we didn't have to get the fans out, and we didn't sweat. It was nice, wasn't it, Sean? Cherokee Nation was well represented. The chief encourages us to participate in a lot of these activities, whether they be in Muskogee, Tulsa, Jay, wherever, and I think about every other entry that went through had Cherokee Nation on it somewhere, and Cherokee Nation was the entertainment on Friday night at the bandstand, and you was still picking that guitar on Saturday night, weren't you, Sean?
Had fun, thank you.
Congratulations to Councilwoman Hatfield. I know her picture wasn't in the strawberry book, but somebody said it'll be in next year's. They only gave us a half of a page, and that one took up the whole half page. I want a full page. But anyway, Wanda got her plaque Saturday night, so
Congratulations, Wanda.
congratulations
That's
to
a big honor.
Of course, chief and deputy were there, and their float went through, and they were way back here. And I have to say this, Speaker Byrd, you never know where he's going to appear in that parade. I called him Waldo, because if you've ever seen all of these magazines, and there's this little Waldo guy, and he's our Waldo of the parade every year. I never know where he's going to be, because we never have anything on him. I just have to look for him. One of these days, he's going to be on the opposite side, and I'm going to miss him. But we appreciate all the support and participation that all of you council members gave us at the parade. Some of you all were in the parade. You were driving through the parade, waving, and you guys all had that wave down. But you didn't have no crowns on. I had little boys coming through with crowns on this year. George Roach and Jen Grogan just finished a review of their vocational training program. They had two reviewers here, and they briefed out this morning, and George said they got good marks, and he said this will go a long ways when they go to Washington. They're going up to meet with the National NAVTAP program, him and Jen Grogan and Kim Carroll, at the end of this month. They haven't had a meeting in about 3 years nationally, and so he said that this will go over really good, and that's our business tech and our child care certification program. Job Corps had a review on their academic program, and they were recognized. They got good points on that as well. Ramona Holt and Jackie Jenkins are to be commended for the work they did on that, and Don Lucas, the superintendent. And then we recognized our teachers. Last week was Teacher Appreciation Week. We had a reception over at Job Corps for all of our teachers at the Job Corps, our GED teachers, our NAVTAP teachers, and then we recognized several of them for their attendance and going beyond the call of duty for their jobs. And then we also recognized our nurses. It was Nurse Appreciation Week. Chrissy March in our higher education program, she contacted me and asked if her staff could exchange information with our staff. She knows that we have a lot of resource material, and she's trying to get as much information out there to all these people that are making application for higher education scholarships by June the 15th. So we're going to do an exchange of information meeting with Chrissy and her people in higher education here in the next week or two. And then she has a field rep that she wants us to designate days that he can come to the J office, the Muskogee office, Bonita office, and so on and so forth. So we'll be putting a schedule out for that field rep to go out there. So if people are having a difficult time getting their higher education scholarships in, then there will be a field rep in our field offices, and we've got 8 field offices out there, and he'll be there a designated day to help them with their educational scholarship. And that's what we call partnership inside the Cherokee Nation. Brenda was turning cartwheels, and so was Kim Carroll and John Crittenton, and they got a letter from the National TANF office. It looks like we're going to probably roll that out in October. We will start working. We submitted our 45-day plan out in the newspapers, and if there was any comments, you have to do that. Our 45 days is up, and we'll start working on the plan that's going to be submitted to the state. John Crittenton and our data entry person will be the 2 people that'll be working on that. So on behalf of our programs, we appreciate all your support and help in getting the word out about our various programs that we have, the new ones. Several people have come in recently and told us that they may have made contact with you, Brian, or they made contact with you, EO, or somebody, and they said that they heard about this program, and I said, well, we appreciate that. So I wanted to thank you all for helping us get the word out about the programs. Day training for the CNB program, it's still underway. We've had to take our day training program that's through the Cherokee Nation. We're holding up on that because we're going to need that for the Cherokee holiday, because we put workers everywhere during that week or two. And then CNB, we have got a lot of workers that we've sent down to the new casino here in Tahlequah. And if you haven't seen the new casino, I know you have, but there's a lot of work that's going on down there. They've got an event that's going on. I think they're going to have about 500 people tonight or tomorrow. So our culinary students and our day training people are down there helping with that. And we'll help them as much as we possibly can. We are expanding our office in Tulsa. We've had work going on up there so we can add new offices for the TANF program. The Tulsa office and Muskogee office are the 2 areas that we're going to have an overabundance of clients for TANF. I'm looking at Mike, so Chuck Smith said that he would work with me over there so that we can stay in the clinic, so I appreciate that. We know that prior we've had a leak in the building, and we're working on that. We're trying to add some offices for TANF. We've got new people that are starting. We're working on that. In Salisaw, we've got an elevator problem. We need to get that fixed so that we can get up on that 2nd floor. But the offices in Salisaw are big enough that we can put enough people in those offices to take care of our caseload. So in Tahlequah, we're going to be expanding a little bit more here. We're at about 4 or 5 different locations, and hopefully we'll be able to get the services out there within that 30-day time window when we open the door for TANF. So we've got a lot of things on our plate, but I've got a lot of good staff, a lot of good management people. Any questions?
Yes, Councilwoman
Yes,
Vasquez.
I have a comment. I always love reading the success stories in a report, and I was especially moved by the reentry program. Young lady, thank you for that. They're important.
When we were in Oklahoma City 2 weeks ago, the deputy director for the Department of Labor was there. He spoke on behalf of Nick, who is the regional director, and he came up to me afterwards and said, when you guys come down, tell me which directors we need to meet with. And I told him reentry for sure, and he's going to ensure that we have the heads of those departments there when we come down to meet with them. And we're going to be taking some information down there on success stories so that they can see that and use it for when they go to testify up on the Hill.
Very nice. Thank you.
Councilman Crittenden.
Hey, Diane, the TANF, was that going to be In Stillwell as well?
It will be in all of our offices.
Okay.
But the numbers that the state is giving us right now shows that Tulsa and Muskogee's where most of the caseload's gonna be, and I think Rogers County's third.
Really?
That's the numbers they're giving us. And I was really surprised. They're going by some numbers that came out in 1994 when they opened the door for tribes to come in and contract the TANF. So those are old numbers, but that won't preclude anybody who comes in
Okay.
right now, and if they are Cherokee, then they can actually come over here for services through us.
Okay, but they'll be in the Stillwell office, right?
Yes, yes,
Our same services and everything?
yes.
Okay. Thank you, Danny.
All right, thank you. Councilman Shambaugh?
Was he what Councilman Crittenden was talking about, was that the grant that we had got, or you had got?
We got several grants. We were talking about TANF.
What's the grant that, you got where we're gonna get the employees? Were you gonna get to hire additional employees for that grant?
That's the opioid training grant, the retail training grant, jobs training, and then we had a vocational rehabilitation grant, and then we also got a reentry grant. So we got 4 new grants plus Job Corps.
How are those going?
We have got, I think, all the positions filled in all of them except the opioid grant. I think we still have 3 positions to fill. And once they're filled, they're gonna do training in June. And from there, we're rolling it out and we're turning in numbers right now in all 3 of those programs.
Do you have applicants for those?
Yes, yes. And that's what I was sharing with you. You may have stepped out.
Yeah, I
but
did. I'm sorry.
Several of the council members have been referring people to us in some of those grants. So when they came in, we asked them, how did you hear about it? I heard about it through Councilman E.O. Smith. I heard about it through Councilman Warner, whoever. But I know that some of you council members have helped us spread the word, and we appreciate it.
So is there any way that we could help expedite getting those people going and hired?
They're in the background checks right now. They've already been selected. They're just in background. Nason's working with me on this.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Councilwoman Hatfield?
I know you've explained day training. Would you explain that to me?
Okay.
Day training?
Yeah, I'll be glad to. The day training program is tribal dollars, and it's also C&B dollars, where somebody can come in who has either exhausted their unemployment or they're not eligible for unemployment, and they may be on the downswing of a job or in between a job, and they don't have any other resources coming in, and we can actually place them in a job throughout the tribe in one of our job programs. And
Like day to day? It's
yeah, day to day. They can be paid every day, or they can be paid at the end of the week. If they work 8 hours, they get $50. If they work half a day, they get $25. And it's training. It's day training. And while they're working with the supervisor's giving them guidance and direction on how to do a specific job.
Thank you for your positiveness always with everyone. Thank you.
I try.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
And we usually hire some of those that's gone through our day training program one.
I'm sorry.
A lot of those we hire
Uh-huh.
if they work out and take the training.
Right.
I mean, that's just a good opportunity for them to come and work for us. Usually entry-level jobs, but it's a start.
Some of them are accountants. Some of them have degrees.
Okay.
They've just fell on hard times in between a job. Maybe they've lost a job or they've moved to another location. But I will say Cherokee Nation's been very good about hiring our day workers. It gives somebody an opportunity to see whether or not this person is capable of being here every day on the job, and if they can do the job and they can learn quickly, then that opens the door for them to come in and compete. Nason and his team have allowed us to come in. If someone has been on a program for at least 60 days, then they can come in and compete for a job as in-house if they have the qualifications and meet the quals for the job. So that's something that HR has done for us.
Diane, who's our new reentry program? Who's our new person?
Matt Lamont from Delaware County.
Okay.
I think is he from Kansas? From Kansas.
Now, is he in that? So he is still, sorry,
Go ahead, Curtin. Go ahead.
Matt's still in the reentry.
Yeah, he's the manager for reentry. He replaced Daryl Legg.
Okay.
Okay, I thought he moved.
No, he's down here in Tahlequah at least 3 days a week, but he's in the field 2 days a week.
I'm sorry, I thought he'd moved to a different job.
No, he's reentry.
Good, I like old Matt, thank
He's
you.
doing a good job.
Yes, Councilman Hatfield.
What is the unemployment rate for, I mean, I should know this, but for Cherokee Nation, what's the unemployment rate?
That would be a good question to ask Nason.
Mason?
I don't know
Because
myself.
with all the programs we have, no, we shouldn't have a very high unemployment and all the transportation, we provide.
Wanda, right now, there isn't a high unemployment rate in any of our counties. Anybody that wants to work can get a job.
That's what I'm saying,
And
your
we can help,
programs.
we can help provide that pathway where they can get their foot in the door to get the job. But there isn't a high unemployment rate right
I
now.
didn't think, it shouldn't be. That's what, maybe that was my point, because we provide transportation everywhere, and we have all the.
Yeah, anybody that wants to go to school and get some training can get it, for either from us or from higher education in the education department.
And we probably have better numbers by counties than we would overall. Overall, that'd be,
And we can get you the counties.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman.
Oh, yeah. When are the graduations for
The-
Talking Leaves and GED?
Talking Leaves is looking at probably around September, and September is when the GED graduation will take
Okay,
place.
gotcha. It's not, Councilman Smith.
I just wanted to follow up on that day work. That's one of the best programs ever. I've seen so many good people prosper off that. And this employee in Cherokee's in the top 5 in unemployment deal. But anyway, but that day work program is a winner by far.
Thank you. We appreciate you all approving that day work training budget when it comes before you all for the budget hearings, because it has been a very beneficial program.
Any other questions for Diane?
Good report.
Saying none, good job, Diane.
Thank you.
And
Thank
great
you.
job with the festival.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks for participating in it, you guys.
All right, next, got the Executive Director report, Education, Miss Jennifer Pigeon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Got a couple of announcements. Today is the deadline for the Performing Arts Camp applications. They're available on the Cherokee Nation website, cherokee.org, under Quick Links, Performing Arts Summer Camp. And need to email those to artscamp@cherokee.org. The second thing that I've got is your invitation to the bike ride send-off on May 28th at 9 a.m. out here in front of the complex under the veranda. Got our reports? Any questions?
Any questions?
Where's Mr. Ron Etheridge? Is he still on vacation?
Yes.
Okay. I want his job.
Okay. Any other questions? Jennifer, good report.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Head Start, Ms. Vernon Thompson.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to echo what Diane said about thank you to you all for approving the day training. Diane, we've hired 2 recently that are really working out good, so we appreciate that program. I just wish we could have day trainers in our classroom, but unfortunately we can't. They have to go through the full background check and all before they can go in there. That leads me into the duration grant. I'm proud to tell you that we just received a $1.3 million grant, and that means 16 new positions added to the ones that we can't fill. So I don't know where these folks are that need a job. I'm assuming they might be going to the casino. I don't know if we can compete with that. I just don't know.
To spend money or something?
But we have 16 additional positions to fill, and Barbara, how many is that total? How many positions do we have? Right now that we want to fill? Yes. 32 before August 1. So we are beating the bushes, and we've had a career fair up there, and I want to say kudos to Terry Spears for helping us out from HR doing job fairs and looking for everyone career fairs. But we do have the 1.3 million, and that is buying a lot of equipment for us, playground equipment, some work to the buildings. But one of the biggest things that we're excited about is the storm-safe shelters. If you've not been out and about to all the sites, they are completed everywhere. And now the Children's Village is nearing the startup. But the kids out and about have already tried them out with the recent storms. And they're getting used to doing their drills, going in there. They're just cute. They sent us pictures of them getting in there with their pillows and books and all that to keep them occupied. But the biggest report I have for you this month is our review. And Councilman Byrd, we are still doing well with our federal reviews, so that's half of it. So we got notice recently that we are in good shape.
Yeah. Well, we're number one, Vernon. We appreciate all you do. That $1.3 million, you know, for you and your
Yes.
staff, I think you need a hand for that.
Thank you. We're getting ready to ask for probably another $1 million, and we're trying to beef up the program here and there, and as long as they make the awards, we'll be applying. Any questions?
Yes, Councilman Hatfield.
Your Head Start teachers have to have an early childhood degree. Is that
Head
correct?
Start lead teachers,
Lead teachers?
yes, the 3- and 4-year-old
Okay.
classrooms. Early Head Start do not, but they do have to have lots of experience, and then we train them. We have a mantra in our program: we hire the heart and train the brain.
All right.
So we really are fortunate to have folks that come work for us that stay for a long time, and we invest in them.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Any other questions?
Councilman Shambaugh.
Thank you, Chair. Where are these jobs at?
Mostly around here because they're out and about, they're filled.
Okay, so just tell them the Tahlequah area?
Well, there's a site supervisor, which is a good position at J, and one at Wauhilla, a site supervisor. They're fully staffed right now as far as the classroom operation, and we asked for some supervisors there at J and Wauhilla, and we're searching high and low. And the others are mostly in the Children's Village, Sela, and Tila across town. And when we get those filled, our motivation to write for these positions was to provide full-day services for parents that need them, that go to school or they're working. A lot of folks want to enroll, but they have to pick them up at 2:30, and that's a hardship in the middle of the afternoon. So they decline a slot. But if we can get these positions filled, they can stay until 5:20. So help us get the word out.
One more question.
Yes, Councilman Hatfield.
What kind of qualifications do your supervisors have to have? And I guess I could look this up or read about
Well,
it.
we prefer some classroom experience, and yeah, and if they have an AA, that'd be great. And then again, we invest in their training.
All right, thank you. Thank you,
All
Chair.
right. Good report, Ms. Verda. You have good work.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, moving down to Sequoia High School, Mr. Leroy Qualls.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
I want to start by thanking you for the support that you've given me and our school throughout this school year. It's been a long year, but it's gone so fast. Very busy times, and it takes a lot of good teamwork to have a good school. And most of you folks have been in schools understand what I'm talking about. Our softball team, slow pitch team, made state tournament for the 8th straight year. And they finished as state runner-up. What makes that unique is they won the state championship in the fall in fast pitch. So it's a pretty good year for our kids. And on the heels of that, we've got one young lady that's an outstanding person, first of all, but she also made All-State in fast pitch and now in slow pitch. And that's kind of a rarity also. It's a rarity, but the last one that I know of that did it was her older sister that did it 2 years ago. Kind of stayed in the family, but I'm very proud of her, well worth mentioning. I went to our band concert this morning, our spring concert that Mr. Morris put on. He's retiring from full-time band instructor. He will be, he's agreed to come back half a day next year to make sure everything is going well. And listening to these kids play this morning, I know why they made the state competition this year. they're good. And I realize it took so much hard work for them to get to that point. And Mr. Morris is the driving force behind that. First time in 146 years our band has made it to the state competition. Of course, they didn't have it way back when, but it sounds good when you say it. But for our purposes, our kids did a great job this morning, and just wanted to brag on them a little bit. Here's something else also. You've heard of boys state and girls state. Typically, we're lucky if we have 4 or 5 kids. This year we have 21. We had 11 boys and 10 girls.
Wow.
That I'm extremely proud of. And the other thing behind that is that our gifted and talented teacher is pushing these kids to get out there and try to find where their boundaries are, and set goals. And I'm very happy to announce that. We've got several things coming up. We've got baccalaureate Wednesday evening at 6:30. We have senior assembly Friday morning. Friday's our last day for our high school. We've got graduation Friday night at 6:30. We graduate 90 seniors. And I think I mentioned to you, but I'm going to do it again. Emerald Going Snake won the gates this year, and it's a more trying process to get there now than it used to be. And kind of going along with our boys' state and our girls' state, here's something that we do have quite a few kids that go on to higher ed. And we're trying to get our numbers up with ICTC to get certified in different things. And our numbers last year was high, it was 24. This next year we'll have 36. So that's a good improvement there. And 2 kids will be in the Oklahoma School for Science and Math also. This year we have 4 that graduates, and next year we'll have 2 that's still going. That's good stuff. In track, our boys were regional runner-up and went on state and finished 9th overall. Our 800 relay team finished as state runner-up. Did a great job. Our girls finished 10th. They finished 3rd in regional and finished 10th in the state competition. And just some individual things that I'm tickled because I know this kid's parents and grandparents. Shade Wadey finished 6th in the 100-yard dash. A little bitty short guy, but he can fly. But on the state level, he did pretty good. We had four or five kids that finished 6th, but that state runner-up was our best showing. I mentioned the band. Also, our valedictorian is A.C. Hagar, and our Sal is Hannah Jimenez. Kids have done a great job, and Hannah's one of those Ivy League kids that'll be going to one of those schools next year. State accreditation, we passed it with flying colors, 0 deficiencies, and you kind of take that for granted after a while, but it's something to be proud of, not to have any of those deficiencies hanging on you. Just got a good bunch of teachers, support staff, students, and good teamwork going on. And thanks again for all your support this year. And that concludes my report, unless there's any questions.
Councilman Dobbins?
Yeah, Leroy, how do you determine valedictorian and salutatorian?
My principal does that,
That good?
GPA.
GPA only? I know there's, I have a school district in my district, and they use a tiebreaker in case there's a tie. They use the ACT score.
That'd be a good tiebreaker. We've been fortunate not to have that, but
You
our honors classes kind of take care of that. When kids load up with those, it jumps the GPA up if they do well.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councilman Burke?
Mr. Qualls, if you get with facilities, would you do an assessment on how we are in compliance with safety at Sequoia High School? How we're doing with the entry, the doors, all of that. See where it is when you do an assessment, how we are in compliance as far as safety.
Okay, we've done a few, but not with our facilities department.
Okay.
But I can request one.
Okay.
Thank you.
And graduation is Friday night?
Yes, sir. Friday night, 6:30.
How many seniors?
90.
Wow, that's a big lot.
And then the 24th is the immersion graduation.
24th, I believe so. It's their last day of school. Actually, got a couple of different graduations for immersion. Kindergarten is the 21st at 9. Sixth grade is the 21st at 6. And eighth grade has an awards assembly the 22nd at 10 o'clock. Their last day of school is the 24th. I've also got a couple of career tech graduations to go to too. When our kids are participating, I like to be there for them.
You said 9 and 1 on for the 21st.
9 and 6.
9 and 6. Okay, gotcha. Any other questions for Mr. Qualls? Seeing none, good report, Mr. Qualls. All right, old business, seeing none, new none. Any announcements? Any announcements? Education? All right, seeing none, make a motion to adjourn.
I yield.
Yossi. All right, second. All right.